I struggled with addiction and negative habits for over 10 years. I literally repeated the exact same cycle every day, every year, and I could not break free. In this video, I'm going to share the exact system that I used to rewrite my life, reshape my identity, and rebuild myself into the person that I actually wanted to become. So to paint the picture, just so you have a full understanding of where I was a career criminal. I was 20 kilos overweight. I smoked weed every single day, and I'd been repeating those patterns or those habits or the things to get those outcomes every single day for over a decade. So I got to this point where I'd just been raided by the police. Obviously, I was super fat. I was super stoned, and I fell into the deepest depression of my life, and I basically sat in my house smoking weed for 30 days playing PlayStation. And I realized that if it didn't get better, it was going to get worse. So I stood up, I looked at myself in the mirror, and I basically told myself this wasn't going to be my life. And I planned out my next day, exactly what I was going to do the next day. And it didn't involve smoking weed. It did involve rebuilding my life. So the next day I woke up and I did exactly that. Now the system that I actually used, and the one that I promised you, is very simple. And this is how it goes. Firstly, you need to identify and get absolutely crystal clear on exactly who you want to be. Then from everything that you've said about that version of yourself, you're going to create a daily habit that would make it true. For example, I said I wanted to be in shape, and I wasn't in shape, as you know. So I had to go to the gym, or I had to restart going to the gym because I'd fallen off, and I needed to clean up my diet. That was actually the main thing that was holding me back. So I went on the carnivore diet. Obviously, drugs did not need to be part of my future. They were part of the thing that was making me comfortable in a reality that I wouldn't have accepted otherwise. And then obviously I needed to leave my life of crime, because this was just like a negative thing that had been going on for so long, and I needed to break that cycle. So once I'd written out everything that I needed to be and everything that I needed to do, I then organized those habits into a daily structure. Now with this, you need to be intentional about what it is that you're doing, but you need to be intentional about when you're doing it as well. Because if you put, I'm going to wake up and go for a 9-mile run, and you've got no experience or no history of doing this, it's unlikely. Remember, with habit creation, it needs to be low friction if it's a habit that you want, and it needs to be high friction if it's a habit that you don't want. And that's an easy way to get rid of them. So we need to structure the day in a way where it's logical, so you can follow it with ease. Low friction, low friction, low friction. You make the right choice, the easy choice, and you make the easy choice, the right choice. And that was exactly what I did. I created a very simple, repeatable meal plan. I then created a training split that I enjoyed. And you know, the training and the nutrition, they became like the backbone for my new life, because they gave me a structure in my day. And I then quickly started seeing that I had a high aptitude for these things, and I then became a personal trainer. But what I want you to understand is this system is extremely applicable to your life. The minute that you understand who you want to be, what he would do every day, formulate that into a daily process. Now, this is where it gets deeper. You can't be the same person that you were when you had negative habits that didn't serve you. For example, if you were drinking and doing drugs, and then you want to be that same person but not drink and not do drugs, that's going to be near on impossible, because our identity reinforces our habits, and our habits reinforce our identity. You know, what does a gamer do? He plays his PlayStation. What does a runner do? He goes for a run. What does a bodybuilder do? He goes to the gym. So you need to see yourself differently, and upon seeing yourself differently, you need to have the habits that would reinforce that view of self. That's probably the biggest takeaway from this entire video that I want you to implement, because if you can just act in alignment with the new version of how you see yourself, by extension, the habits will follow. And this is really the biggest shift that you're going to need to make is the identity shift. It's the self-concept. Like, this is exactly what I work on in my coaching. I'll have guys create this vivid picture of who they want to be and begin to act like them. Because when you think, talk, walk, act, train, eat like that version of yourself, you're closing the gap between him and you every day. And the two become one because you become him through the actions and the daily process. And once this is done, you really embody that version of yourself. You get his results. You create his reality. Like, picture this. I went from living the life that I discussed, just being raided. Feds took all my phones, all my money, really left me down bad. And like a year and a half later, I was living in Spain with my girlfriend with an online business, helping other men to fucking break their bad habits and get in the best shape of their life. And I just thought, if it's this powerful for me, like, I was starting on level fucking 0, maybe even minus compared to most people. And now I'm there. And to me, it just seemed almost too good to be true. But that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this, because you can change your life so fast once you take actions that are solely aligned with where you want to go. Remember this, most people have a clear idea of what they don't want, but they don't know what they do want. And your mind has what's known as a reticular activating system. So if you're focused on something, your mind's going to find it for you. This is probably like a survival mechanism. And now, where we're past survival and we're in creation, you have to be conscious about what you create. So again, the identity is where that's like the nucleus, and everything stems from that. So once you have that self-concept nailed, and you then write out all the habits, all the things that man would do every day, and you complete them every day, I guarantee you in 30 days, your life will be different. As I said, in 90 days, I lost 17 kilos, I got sober, and I left my life of crime. Those were things that I needed to do for 10 years, and I fixed them in 3 months. So please go and apply the system. And if you want to do this fast track with me, the link's below, send me a WhatsApp. And if you're the right fit for the team, we'll get to work. Let's fucking go, bro. You got one life.